Ashley. We're unicorns. I'm 32 years old and I'm from Rochester, New York.
As Ashley is lighting a candle, she tells the audience that she's a witch.
Wait, I'm having memories from a different past life. The year was 1723. I was a witch hunter by the name of Collector Shea. In English, the Neck Collector. Some even called me the Boogeyman. I mean, I was a total badass. But on 12th of November, I'd met my match. That's when I learned the face of my enemy.
She's knowledgeable about the plants. I should try to tie her up and throw her in the river. If she doesn't float to the surface, then she's a witch.
I'm a tarot card reader. I'm an astrologer. I specialize in shadow work. I think people are still very much afraid of the word witch. It's interesting when she says this because I doubt anyone would be scared of Ashley. I just think the majority of people would laugh if she explained that she's a witch to them.
Ready to receive divine wisdom from our spirit guide?
Hey, it's me, the spirit guide. Forget about it. Have a goo.
Ashley goes on to say to the audience, because we've been conditioned to believe that a witch is a woman with a crooked nose, like throwing hexes on people. That's not anything I do. Obviously, Ashley doesn't have a crooked nose, but actual witches know how to use hexes, even if it's for defense. So if she doesn't know how, I doubt she's an actual witch. If we really break down witchcraft, it's an ancient practice based on the belief that individuals have the power to manipulate energy and shape their realities through intention or action. In essence, very similar to quantum physics.
My family was religious growing up, but I'm like the crazy one, the rebellious one, and I began to dabble into the occult.
Occultism, for those that don't know, is a category of supernatural beliefs and practices which generally fall outside the scope of organized religion and science, involving otherworldly agencies such as magic, mysticism, and their varied spells.
Ashley, you're not a witch. Get downstairs.
God damn it, Mom. You better get out of my room right now. How many times do I have to tell you I'm a witch? It's not a Halloween costume. I got the black cauldron here and I'm working with some very dangerous herbs.
That's it. I'm coming in.
The magician is coming upside down next to the 10 of swords upside down. There's some limiting beliefs. While she does this, she makes this hand motion that reminds me of that Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel meme. What's even funnier about the situation is that Ashley made this her entire identity, and her interpretation of the cards is wrong. The reverse magician is making it hard for you to move on from the pain of the past, and the reverse 10 of swords is keeping you stuck in a cycle of negative thoughts and emotions. So right away, she didn't mention the meaning of the reverse 10 of swords, which is sus, especially if you watch these tarot card readers on YouTube. I'm gonna get a little deep with you. This twinge of doubt, this isn't gonna work. Childhood trauma. Oh wow, Ashley goes on to say that her spirituality guides every part of her life. Ashley says that when she was doing her undergrad, she had a dream that she was literally in the woods, like the jungle, and she was literally working with the earth somehow. Ashley's dreams about having the earth as a co-worker inspired her to talk to her biology teacher. The biology teacher tells her that we're going on a trip to Ecuador, do you want to come or not? And she's like, frick yes, I want to go. Next couple pictures of Ashley we see are so flex. We see a picture of her with this giant turtle that's bigger than Master Oogway, and then in the next photo we see her with a monkey on her shoulders playing with her hair. Ashley says that she met Manuel that very first year. He's a 35-year-old construction worker from Ecuador. Ashley says that Manuel has beautiful skin, like a mixture between peanut butter and cinnamon, and they were also engaged within a week of knowing each other, which is such a red flag.
It was passion, getting caught up in the moment, being young and in love, young, dumb, full of I think all of that.
This must be so embarrassing for her dad. They come from a religious background, yet here his daughter is. Ashley says to the audience that unfortunately her long-distance relationship with Manuel didn't last, and then we see her walk into a spirituality store. She adds that Manuel and her spent 7 years apart, and then when she got out of a long-term relationship with another guy, Manuel hit her up within a couple of days, and then bam, they got back together.
When you get out of a relationship, the exes come out of the woodwork, even if you haven't announced it. That's literally what happened. I was a week out of my long-term relationship, and Manuel out of nowhere, hola.
The good news is Ashley says that Manuel's less of a fuckboy now. I guess he used to be a big-time fuckboy in his 20s, but now that he's in his 30s, he's starting to mature. And because he's always been her what-if man, she bought a ticket to go and see him in September of 2020.
He got me from the airport. We went straight to the Airbnb and we quarantined together. And I'm sitting in the bed and he like takes out the box and he was like, okay, so like, here's the ring. Like, are you gonna do it?
Ashley moving fast, fast, fast. This has to be some kind of world record for how fast you can get engaged to someone within 1 day. You literally landed in Ecuador. He asked you to marry you right away, which is a red flag, and you said yes.
He's like, are you sure? I'm like, I think I'm sure, Lewis. I think I'm sure too. And then I did it. Yeah.
What can I say, Socks? Ashley's a loony bird that was bitten by the love bug, and right now she's buying a bunch of bullshit at the spirituality store. She says to the audience, "Dragon blood in Cyprus, huh? My partner is traveling from far away for the first time, hence protection work." The way she's talking is like a Skyrim NPC. "This is high quality opal from the sacred mountain range. I usually charge $400, but for a mentally unstable woman such as yourself, I'm willing to go as low as $399. Anyways, Ashley tells the audience that they applied for the K1 visa, they got it, and Manuel arrives tomorrow, yay!
Manuel would prefer me to be a Catholic woman. 1,000 million billion %, yes.
We find out that Manuel has never left Ecuador before, he's never boarded a plane, and he doesn't speak English, so I'm sure this is gonna work out great. I also noticed that Ashley has a tattoo of angel wings on her back, and I'm confused why she has that if she's a witch. The next time that the audience sees Ashley, she's hanging out with her friends.
They didn't even take me seriously about this wedding until like after I got back from Ecuador like the 3rd time, like recently. Even after we filed for the K1 and everything, they still thought it was just me and one of my things.
Yeah, because this is the 2nd time that you're engaged to the same dude from Ecuador, so I'm sure your friends are worried about you, Ashley. From your friend's point of view, you rushed into this relationship because you want to feel loved and are afraid of telling someone to slow down just in case they leave you, which isn't a good way to operate. We then find out a red flag, and that's that Manuel didn't tell his mother that he's moving to America to live with Ashley.
It's easier for him to tell her when he gets here so that she's not worried about him traveling so far away and all of that.
Yeah, that's pretty sus. If he's willing to keep secrets from his mother, the woman that gave birth to him, I'm sure he's gonna be comfortable keeping secrets from you.
Do you think he's like coming over here to just kind of like get away from the situation, or like?
I thought about that too, if he's trying to almost kind of like run away from the burdens that he has there and start fresh.
So you're bringing over a dude you can't trust, and you're gonna be financially supporting him until he can get his work visa. We don't even have to whip out the cards to know that this is a bad idea.
What have you told him so far? Like, what does he know?
That I do tarot and astrology.
And your spells and
Slaughter a lamb on the full moon?
I do not slaughter a lamb on the full moon.
Yeah.
No.
Honestly, I'd probably respect her more if she did slaughter a lamb during a full moon. The blood sacrifice happens at midnight. That seems way more witchy than the bullshit that she does.
So being a modern day witch to me means working with the elements.
Yeah, my question for Ashley is, what could you possibly have in common with Manuel? If this play pretend witch life is so important to you, wouldn't you want to bring someone into your world that also pretends to be a wizard? Ashley's friends go on to say that there's a lot of white lies that have already been exposed in this relationship, which is very concerning. The next person close to Ashley we meet is her sister, and she's very patient with Ashley. She seems like a very nice person.
I'm the more cautious sister, where she's super spontaneous and will, you know, go head first into, you know, deep waters without thinking twice about it.
Brother, if I was pretending to be a witch, what would you say to me?
I'd call you a fucking incel. And I'd fly to Vegas and attack you. Challenge you to a duel to the death as my brother.
I love you, man. I appreciate you.
I love you, man.
Ashley is acting like she's having a panic attack, but she's actually just hella dramatic.
I'm freaking the out right now. Oh, there you are. Oh my God, I cannot keep it together and freak out. I'm trying to not.
While this is happening, her sister's being very patient with her, telling her to breathe and calm down. I'm surprised that Ashley's acting like this when it's not even a high-stress situation. All she's doing is waiting for her man to arrive at the airport. Manuel arrives and she runs into her man's arms. They kiss, they embrace, and he is so happy to see his woman. Manuel tells Ashley that she looks even more beautiful, and then he says that immigration told him that he has 90 days to decide if he's gonna marry her or not, and he asked if he could have 120 days instead, but Manuel says goodbye to Ashley's sister, and they drive back to the house. Along the way, he talks about what it was like flying for the first time, and he says to the audience that when the engine turned off, he was like, oh my God, is the plane gonna go down? So far, first impression of Manuel, he seems very polite, and he's very complimentary of her city and her neighborhood.
Oh my god.
Rico Suave!
The couple's first disagreement is actually because of the dog, funny enough. The problem is Manuel is not used to sleeping with animals, and Ashley sleeps with Rico Suave every single night. They talk about it briefly. Ashley informs Manuel that Rico's always slept in bed with her and that's not going to change. Manuel responds, all right, well then I'll sleep on the couch because this is gonna take some getting used to, no worries. The way Manuel's acting is perfectly reasonable. It's his first night in America. If he doesn't want to sleep with the little dog, he doesn't have to, right? Ashley has a huge problem with her man not wanting to sleep with her and her dog, so she goes off on this tangent about how the past 10 years Rico's always been there with her and guys have come and gone. The minute Manuel walked inside this house and saw her cat, he said to the audience that growing up as a kid his neighbors had cats and they were useful because they ate the mice. However, he doesn't understand why a lot of Americans have pets, especially in New York City. They have all these cats, but the cats don't catch mice. They're just fed. So what's the point of having an animal if it doesn't do anything to benefit your life? And I get that because a huge part of my family's Italian and we've only had big dogs because dogs in our family are used for protection. If someone breaks in our house, what's a little shitter dog like hers gonna do? Nothing.
What are you doing?
Not to mention throughout their conversations, you can tell that Ashley's really playing up this whole I'm a witch thing.
Okay, mi vida, eso es última parte que necesitamos para cena. Estás viviendo con una bruja ahorita.
They get in another argument because Manuel is a real person, so he tells Ashley, you're not an actual witch.
¿Sí sabe la palabra que es bruja?
And when he says this, it sends Ashley into spiritual orbit. She then gives him her own unique definition of what a good witch is, and it's not the actual definition.
Una bruja es una persona que usar y trabajar con espiritualidad para tener una vida que es más mejor.
If you type in a witch definition on Google, what you find is a person thought to have magic powers, especially evil ones, popularly depicted as a woman wearing a black cloak and pointed hat and flying on a broomstick. Throughout their conversation, Manuel isn't disrespecting her in any way, shape, or form. He's just being real with her and honest. And here's the thing, it seems like she just wants him to validate that she's a witch, and he doesn't have to do that. Because once again, this man comes from a completely different culture, and in his culture, a witch is an evil creature that formed a contract with the devil. If anything, Ashley, you should be happy that your man doesn't think that you're an evil creature that formed a contract with the devil. Ashley proceeds to get hella butthurt because this man isn't feeding her ego and enabling her bullshit like her friends do. I'm gonna keep you guys updated as I watch more episodes of the show. I'm also gonna be covering Jasmine and Gino and all the other couples on the show. If you have any recommendations, let me know in the comments below. Check out our merch if you got some spare coin. If you want some one-on-one time with me, please order Cameo. I'm the #1 Cameo creator in the entire world. I'm super thankful that y'all watch my content. Comment below, subscribe. Love you, man. Follow me on Twitch and on Instagram right now.